Hi, I'm Daz, and I want to cover a few important tools that you need to be successful on your weight loss journey. I believe these to be the most important tools. Now, there are a number of tools to help you along the way, but I think when you're starting your plan, you need to have these things in mind. Now, weight loss and obesity is a complex wheel. I say it's a complex wheel because there's so many factors that impact your ability to be successful on this journey. And there are a number of variables. In other words, what works for someone may not work for you, and or you may have to do more to get those results. So it can be a little tricky there. But let's cover some of those tools. Now, number one, what is it that you really want to do? What is it that you really want? In other words, I did a presentation, a health presentation not too very long ago. I am a registered dietitian. I have a background in public health. And after this presentation that I had done, this lady came over to me to talk to me in private. And she said, I have tried everything. I have tried everything and I cannot lose weight off my waist. And so I told her two things to do, just two things. And she was very diligent about those two things that I told her to do. And a couple of weeks later, she contacted me. She said, I lost weight. I lost inches off my waist. And when I went to the doctor, even my A1C was better. A1C is a measurement, if you're a diabetic, that they can test your blood and see how you were managing your glucose levels for the previous several months. And she said, so that test was much better. So I said, wonderful, just doing those two things that I told her to do. But she was very specific about what she wanted. She says, I want to lose weight off my midsection. You may want to reduce several dress sizes. There's an event coming up, you want to get real cute. There's this particular dress that you definitely want to get into, but you need to lose a lot of weight to get into it, and you want to lose weight quickly. That may be what you really want to do. Outside of that, you're okay to go back to your normal routine. And or you're tired of being on what I call the yo-yo diet, and or more recently I refer to it as the roller coaster diet. In other words, you go to an extreme diet, you lose weight, then you get comfortable, and then you pick it back up again. You get sick of picking up this weight, you go on an extreme diet, you lose the weight, and then you pick it back up again, and on and off, on and off, on and off. That really does work against you in the long run. So you're tired of that yo-yo dieting, so you want a sensible plan that you can follow and be successful at it, and your whole family can join you in on this plan. Is that where you are? So you need to determine what you really want. That's tool number one. I call it a tool. Now, number two, you need to determine your state of readiness. We all have different things that are going on in our lives. So if you are taking care of your grandchildren, and you're taking care of your parents, and you're doing this and you're doing that, and you've got these major projects at work, this may not be the best time to start a different journey for you. You have to make that decision. You may say, yes, it's very important for me to do it, and I will make it work. Okay. But you need to be mindful of what you're doing. There are certain things that you want to learn and incorporate. Some of those things may be different than what you have been doing before. And I'll have references for you, and I'll talk about that later in this presentation. But anyway, your state of readiness is very important. Tool number three, you need to recalculate your mindset. Recalculate your mindset. So this is what I'm talking about. Now, I read the book Awaken the Giant Within, written by Anthony Robbins a long time ago. So I am giving my version, Das's version of what I read a long time ago. So please, Anthony Robbins, I hope I'm not doing you any disservice here. But this is my simplified take on it, because it was very analytical, psychoanalytical, the things that he had written in there, et cetera, et cetera. But this is my take. So you have two categories, pain versus pleasure. If your pleasure of this event or this situation, you get more pleasure than the pain of doing something, then you're going to do those things that give you more pleasure. If your pain is more in this activity or the things that you're doing versus the pleasure of what you're going to do or not do. If that is less, then you're going to make some changes. Let me make it plain for you. Now, when it comes to your weight loss journey, your pain could be, it is painful for me to go into my closet and I can't find anything to wear. The things that I really like, that I enjoyed, that used to look good on me, they don't look good on me anymore. And so I find myself just wearing a monk cloak and muumuus, or, big cloaks and robes, and I'm always hiding because I really don't like all this weight that I have gained. The pain of, my doctor keeps telling me, you really have to lose weight. You really have to lose weight. We're going to have to put you on more and more and more medicine. I don't want more and more medicine. So it is painful to get these negative reports. Your blood pressure is high. This is out of whack. You're experiencing joint pain. You're experiencing back pain. And all of this is attributed to all of this excess weight that you're carrying. That is very painful. That's the pain side. Now the pleasure side. You are giving in to your pleasurable activities, which are, you like the comfort foods. You enjoy eating your macaroni and cheese, and I mean a lot of it. You enjoy drinking your soda. That's what you look forward to. And a bag of chips. You look forward to that. That is your pleasure. You enjoy a mixing bowl of ice cream and a martini. That's how you like to end your evening. That gives you pleasure. You're stressed, you feel you deserve that. And so you get pleasure for that. Now, if the pleasure is more than your pain, then you are going to continue with the martini and the mixing bowl of ice cream. However, if you get to the point where your pain starts exceeding what the pleasure is, then you may be making some changes. Look at where you are. Are you seeing more the pain, or are you seeing more the pleasure? I'm going to give you another example. When I was growing up, I learned how to swim, and we would go to the pool. Me and my friends, we would go to the pool every day, almost every day, yes. And we would be at the pool all day long. But when you first got to the pool, and I mean, it's hot. I mean, hot. The water is icy cold. The water is icy cold. So you had to go through the pain of getting in that icy cold water. Well, oftentimes I would go the slow approach. So I would just put my feet in. Whoo, boy, it's cold. And then my ankles. And then I would get my lower calves into the water, and I would just ease in. It was like, oh, you can feel it going all over your body. And then up to my thighs. And then the worst part is this section to get in there, and you can just feel your heart racing and all of that. And then you finally get all the way in. And then comes the pleasure. I enjoy swimming, and we would have a good time being in the water and having a great time all day long, literally all day long. So every time I had to process, because you can't go swimming unless you get in the water. So every time I had to process going through that pain cycle in order to get to the pleasure. But my main focus was that pleasure, because I knew that once I got through this journey, I'm going to have a good time. So I had to focus on that good time. I had to process going through. Now, sometimes I was real bold, and I would just say, hey, I'm going to do it. Jump right on in. And I would jump right on in and get it all over with. So you need to determine what the pain points are, and then look at those pleasure points and focus on those pleasure points, because that's what got me through the pain. Because it was exciting to go through the pain, because I knew as soon as I get off this, as soon as I get in that water, whether I go the slow approach or the quick approach, I'm going to have the pleasure. You need to focus on that pleasure. It doesn't come overnight, but it will come, and you need to focus on that and be excited about it. I was excited going through the painful part because I knew how exhilarating and wonderful it would be to get to the pleasure. You need to be focusing on. So that's why I say you need to recalculate your mindset so that you can focus on that. Now, before I go to number 4, and that is the last tool that I want to share with you, which I believe, in my estimation, is the most important tool, I want to say, if you need some resources, please, this is a very good resource to help you with weight loss, because I put so many practical things in there. I put so many doable things in there. There's no fluff. It's a quick read, and I outline everything. I think of when you're going out and you're eating on the run. I think of ways to control your appetite and other things that you can do. I have so many things that I packed in there that I think would be good resources for you to use. Please, I have a link and you can get that book. Or if you want some coaching, or if a group of you want coaching, if your work, share me with your work, and I can do a group of you, and there will be a discount with the group to do online weight loss program. So those are so many resources to help you on this journey. Now, the last tool that I want to share with you, and again, I say in my estimation, it is the most important tool. You need spiritual backup. And this is what I mean, spiritual backup. I am going to read to you Mark, in the Bible, Mark 11:23. Please listen, I'm going to read it to you. For verily I say unto you that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he saith shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he saith. Now, I'm also going to read Mark 11:24. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. That's Mark 11:23 and 24. Now, it's basically saying that we have a God who is in tune with what our desires are and what the things that we want. And he is more than willing to give it to us. Now, I don't believe in a name it, claim it kind of situation with God. I don't use God as a Houdini. I believe that God knows what's best for me. He has a specific plan for me. And if I'm asking for something to better me, he is definitely on step with that. So if you're asking, I need help to lose weight so that I can be healthy, he is definitely on point with that. Now, he can give you the power, but you need to ask. Sometimes we don't receive because we don't ask. Well, I would ask for that backup power to help you on this decision, to stick on it so you can get past the pain and derive that pleasure. The pleasure of getting good health reports. The pleasure of not having to play the monk cloak. And I don't have anything against monks, but my vision of them is they have these long cloaks on, and you can hide a lot of things up under that cloak. No, our clothes are not so we can hide in them. We want to wear them and enjoy them, socialize, have a good time, enjoy your life. Because God says, I come that you may have life and have it more abundantly. So don't steal. Don't take from what you can have. Don't have every day a gloomy day because you have given up. Don't give up. Ask for that spiritual power. So that's what I want to share with you. Those are the tools, and I just want you to embrace those. Think about it. There are other things that you have to do. Those are just some tools to start the journey that I really want you to be serious about. Well, anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I'm Daz. I'm out, but I look forward to seeing you next show.